Alright, so I'm going to keep this a little bit low for this time around, since there are people around me, like, sleeping so, in the house, so yeah. Alright, so welcome to our week 6, no, I think it's still week 5 of the DBL, and this week we'll be facing against Ports, and not gonna lie, his team looks very threatening in certain aspects. Like, he has a very like offensive core and like Mawile, Formosa, Double Genie, Porygon Z, and a potential follow me user in Blastoise. So that's gonna be. There's some elements of the team that I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know what to do. So, but I'm pretty much like, since his team is very hyper offensive in nature, I decided like the best way to approach this battle is like going with matching his hyper offense with my own hyper offense. So let's go off and just discuss in detail like the Pokemon in detail. So he has Formosa. Formosa has 151 speed with 137 like attack offensive stats. Defenses are not that much desire, but it has some interesting moves. Bug Buzz, Focus Blast, Low Kick, Hydro Kick, Poison Jab, Quiver Dance. He could also run HP Electric if he wants to, or Taunt or something. This could be like a very. There's some things I could easily see him like doing in terms of shenanigans, but I'm not so sure if he'll do it. But like, Formosa is definitely a threat. Mawile, I think this is gonna be his de facto Mega of choice unless he goes with like Mega Blastoise. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he brings Mega Mawile, since it has Intimidate as regular Mawile, and has like powerful moves like has Perfect Stab and Play Rough, Sucker Punch, and Iron Head. Though I think he might offer like a coverage option like Ice Fang or Thunder Fang. I'm not so sure, because all these moves just pretty much hit my entire team super effectively. So I do feel like Mawile might be a little bit more bulkier than usual, but we'll see. Or maybe more speedy, or just to take advantage of the tailwind from like Murkrow or the T-Wave from Thundurus. So then we have Thundurus, pretty much like your before Tapu Koko was around, it was the de facto electric type. Just like that, like you can just basically it can basically just T-Wave you, spreads paralysis with that, and it also has Swagger. Prankster Taunt's really good just to shut down setup or like disruption, prevents the opponent from going for Protect or any other move. Obviously, you can also go offensive with like Thunderbolt, HP Ice, Grass Knot, Focus Blast. So has 111 speed, so that's something I have to be careful with. I had to take that into consideration. So yeah, Landorus T. Well, we all know Landorus T. So Mr. Levitating Tiger Cat, that's weak to ice, or Icy Hot. So call him Icy Hot here. So Icy Hot here is well, yeah, obviously you have to run Earthquake or maybe Earth Power if he wants to. But then again, Earthquake is just better because honestly you have like 145 attack. So I can see him being Scarfed this week, maybe Scarf Slide. But I wouldn't be surprised if he brings something like AV. So yeah, Landorus with Intimidate, like this plus pre-Mega Mawile, and also the Arcanine also like make a good Intimidate core. So especially with the fact this thing has U-turn, Thundurus has full turn, and Firmus has U-turn. So that has to be something that to take into consideration. Arcanine can just burn things. As a Pokemon, I gotta be careful because it could just burn things, or just be offensive. Like, it's got a lot of success in VGC 17. Well, then again, it was the only fire type then used there. So, but like people use like the 50% Berry Arcanines a lot more often. So, but in the format you see a lot of things like that risen up, like AV Arcanine, defensive Arcanine, Choice Band Arcanine with his speed, E speed. So I wouldn't be surprised if he brings something weird. But more likely, like he's gonna bring like a defensive set. Then we have Murkrow with Prankster. Like I think this is like his second Prankster user. So Murkrow is pretty much one of those Pokemon I gotta watch out for because it has a lot of coverage. For, like with Foul Play is enough to just hit everything hard on my team. Also it has Rouge, has Tailwind, Taunt, has some weird options like Perish Song, Better Dance, so, and even Snatch. So I gotta be careful about Murkrow. But I've seen some teams like in VGC 17, I think there's like those Korean teams, like they had Murkrow and Porygon Z, where like they're very offensive. Usually they're either like Abelite or focusing, or not focusing, or focus Sash, where like, they could just take a hit or something, just to ensure they could get like something like a Tailwind up or something. Since yeah, I have to be careful because since it's a Dark type, I can't taunt it with Whimsicott without having to go with, because like Dark type Pokemon are immune to how do I say it, status. So yeah. Then we have Porygon Z, which is a huge threat. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of over prepared for this one, so because I knew this thing is just a monster. With the right set, it just sweeps my team. Especially if it's either Z Trick Room, not Z Trick Room, but like there's certain variants that I kind of thought of that I just don't want to. I'd rather not say. Obviously, there's C Conversion. There's the Trick Room set with the Hyper Beam. Of course, there's also Scarf Hyper Beam, but some of them have opted for Trick Room Hyper Beam. So it's a very weird position I don't want to be in. So like I want to get rid of like port PC as fast as possible. So yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that. So like Porygon Z like has a bunch of like coverage options like Foul Play, Ice Beam, like Thunderbolt, any HP of its choice, probably Fire, Nasty Plot if it wants to do that, Shadow Ball, even has Recover. So it's a Pokemon that's extremely diverse and with adaptability, it's going to hit very hard. So and then we pair that with like a Malian Z Hyper Beams, I think it's just going to hit everything very hard. So yeah, Vanillex is, honestly I don't see him bringing Vanillex, but Snow Warning, Scarf Vanillex is very, very good. I want to say too good because I have to have response for it, but it isn't a threat that I have to consider because again, Snow Warning is a problem. Just spamming Blizzard, yeah. Because obviously it's free chance and all that stuff. So lastly we get to his 2 Bulky Waters, and honestly I don't think he's gonna bring one or the other. I think he's gonna bring either Blastoise or Gastrodon. I put Mega Blastoise here, but you could also have Mega Blastoise with the 50% Berry or Follow Me. But that also means you can't have Fake Out. So yeah. I decided to have a Fake Out. I decided to like prep more for the Follow Me Blastoise than the Mega Blastoise in this case, because I feel like Mega Blastoise, like, why would you use that over Mawile? So yeah. I'm not discrediting Blastoise like at all because I've used it in singles, but in doubles I'm not so sure about it. Like yeah, I've heard about some teams with the Tailwind, the Water Spout, Protect, Tailwind, then you go Water Spout and just protect it. But I don't know about this one. So lastly we have Gastro, which Gastrodon has like some very odd, has its not clear font, but It has a Storm Drain, which rejects all water moves, and that's another reason why I don't think he's gonna bring Blastoise, because it will just, if he does bring that, I don't know if like does Water Spout just redirects it to Blastoise. I hope not, because like I'm not so sure. Does Water Spout just hit both targets? Because if it does, hopefully that's good. But if it hits everything, that might be bad. Well, I don't know. But Gastrodon is pretty annoying. It has usually has for covers Toxic, Scald, Ice Beam, Earth Power, like the works pretty much. So I did prep for this thing, so I should see with my team. So this is the game I brought. For this game, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna bring a Fightinium Z, or Fightinium Z. I don't know how you pronounce it. Fightinium Z Terrakion with Z Close Combat, because Z Close Combat is enough to like knock out like one of his like what is it? I forgot what it was, but I wanted to do enough damage to where like I could just punch a major hole to his team, whether it be like the Blastoise or the Gastrodon or the Mawile. I almost put Z ground, but Fighting Z just Fighting Z just like helps. So yeah, Earthquake Rock Slide is really good coverage. So just to hit the Gastrodon and the Arcanine. What was it? What was I looking at? So Close Combat was pretty much like, it might be weird just to bring Terrakion, but there is a reason why I'm bringing it, so I'll just explain it later. Then we have Zapdos with Skydrop, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, or not Ice Beam, but HP Ice, and Roost with Aglob Berry and Static. I put a lot of speed in this Zapdos because I wanted to be able to. Well, the goal of this set is to pretty much prevent Trick Room. And one of the ways I wanted to prevent Trick Room from the Porygon was I Skydropped let's say a Fake Out user, let's say Zapdos. No. If he's going to try to go with something like Follow Me plus something, I want to go with the what is it? Okay, so I Skydrop the Follow Me user, which in this case is Blastoise, and then I have Terrakion just immediately go after the Porygon. I also have Z Fighting just to be able to ensure the Oko in case he switches out to Landorus or one of his Intimidate Mons. So yeah, that's why I decided to give it that. So in this case, I did put HP Ice on it just because I wanted to something to hit the Landorus as well. I didn't want to be weak to Landorus with Zapdos. Pretty much I kind of like, sorry about that. Okay, where was I? So pretty much this combination just ensures that I just prevent this trick from option. Gyarados is pretty much kind of semi-standard. The only thing is that I gave it Toxic over Protect because I felt that there was just like, I know I just feel like it's going to be better for the Gastrodon, but then again, just to wear it down over time, because I don't want it to like, I don't want to be in a situation where if it comes down to a Gyarados, my team just can't hit Gastrodon at all. And Toxic is just one of those options in case like Zapdos can just stall it out with, and then Gyarados can just like, yeah, I might not be able to use my water moves, but I would just still Toxic Stings. That way I could at least do some chip damage. So Aglob Berry is just recovery. Just because I just want to ensure that I can get some good recovery options up. Then we have Whimsicott. Now Whimsicott here, this is pretty much the reason why I brought it, is beat up for Terrakion, because if I... This is also my only Tailwind on my team, so I almost thought about bringing Tailwind Zapdos, but it was just... Yeah, like 4 moves Slot Syndrome, and I was just like, eh. I kind of wanted to have Whimsicott just because I want to have options, whether it be Encore, because his team looks like it's very Protect reliant, so that way I could just Encore something, so then I have Tailwind just to bolster my speed. And then lastly, I have Moonblast just to hit the, I think, the Pheromosa, the Sash, pretty much allows me to live a hit from it, like Poison Jab, so that way I just go for Moonblast and all. So, yeah, so, pretty much that's it. Well, Whimsicott pretty much works very well with the Terrakion, so. Then we have our Gengar. I think Gengar, out of all the sets, was like the hardest Pokemon to like decide which one was gonna be the good. Like I think Gengar and Zapdos were like the hard ones, like to think of a good set, because like I just didn't know what to account for. Because like it's a Energy Ball. As you can see, it's specifically there for Gastrodon. That's why I brought Gastrodon, or Energy Ball. And also like Blastoise. And it wasn't bad. Oh no. Man. Blastoise isn't really like much Energy Ball. But they really needed to like take it back to battle against Gastrodon. Shadow Ball is just there, just coverage. Disable is a great option in case like I could just do the Encore Disable shenanigans with Whimsy and like Gengar. So, and I did make my Gengar really bulky and had enough speed to outspeed case like I believe it's Thunderous, because I do this speed just ensures I outspeed Thunderous. And though I have to make it evolve immediately, because if I don't, I'd probably just like get outpaced by Landorus. I almost wanted to try hidden Power Ice or AC Wind on one of these slots, but I felt that Disable just ensured an Encore Disable just kind of, if I get that in, that just shuts him down, one side of the slot down. And that will put me in a really advantageous position, so. Of course, I have Shadow Tag working for me once I get Mega, so yeah. Lastly, we have a Life Orb, well, pretty much Adamant Life Orb. Well, not Adamant Life Orb, it's Naughty Life Orb, but Mamoswine with Freeze Dry, Ice Shard, and Earthquake. I didn't put Earthquake here because the only reason why I didn't put Earthquake, or any other coverage move, sorry, I'm just fucking tired. The only reason why I didn't put any other move aside Earthquake and Ice moves because it's just enough to hit his entire team hard. So Earthquake just ensures like I can kill like let's say Arcanine. It's like 2 Arcanine Mawile if like I'm able to like to beat it 1v1. So not 1v1 but 2v1. So with that, but now it's plus maybe something like Zapdos or Gyarados. I have like 2 Levitators or Flyers in my team, so might as well take advantage of that. Ice Shard, Night Forward Ice Shard is good. So that's a good option in case like I could pick off like Landorus and any other and Thunderous as well. So Freeze Dry is an option that like pretty much ensures that like we can at least hit the Gastrodon. It's also for Landorus in case he's very slow and he's intimidating us so many times. It's also there for like Blastoise, but I really doubt it since Earthquake, Adam, and Earthquake are positive attack investment. Earthquake just can just do a number of his team. So yeah, didn't really eat much aside like give it like a life number. So yeah, So I guess that's the team. So I'll just go over the battle. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're back from a little bit of intermission. So this is game 1 of the DBL round 5. The LA Nidokings facing off the St. Louis Blastoise. Uh, with Ports, that's the coach, or it's the head coach. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So in terms of leads, I'm pretty much thinking about going Whimsy and Gengar, just because I wanted to counter the potential Double Genie lead right immediately. Also, like, I could just trap in some things immediately, just from the get-go. So we'll get right into it. So here I lead with 85% Cotton and Cheshire, as he goes into Mawile and the Murkrow. So Intimidate, he goes for the Intimidate, or he already had Intimidated. So like I guess he went there. He went with the Mawile just to get the Intimidate, which is a good play, I'm saying. One more thing, he has triple Intimidate, so that's something I kind of have to be very careful about. So yeah, he goes and switch out Mawile into Thunderous. So here I go for the Tailwind, and he goes for the Taunt up to the Zapdos, so I can't really. I'm forced to attack. So here he goes to Gastrodon. Good play on this part because I won't be able to touch him. So I go for the Moonblast onto Murkrow. Again, special attack drop, but it doesn't really matter. I go for the HP Ice. Gastrodon's gonna eat it up. Very, very defensive. So I really can't hit the Gastrodon at all. So I got a Mamoswine as an aggressive switch because I felt that I could at least take a hit on something. I go for HP Ice onto the Arcanine, which was then the Murkrow, just take it out. And really, he intimidates me, and I'm like, oh, great. So, here I decide to make a weird play. Not a weird play, but a weird act. So what I do is I decide to go for Thunderbolt onto the Arcanine to get some chip damage. I go for Freeze Dry, reveal that I'm Life Orb. He goes for Earth Power. I think he did that just because he thought I'd switch outs or something. Here I switch out Zapdos just to reset the Toxic turn, so I go into Gara. He goes to Flamethrower, knocks out my Mamoswine because really, like, Mamoswine has naughty nature, so it's likely to take a hit. So he's able to recover the damage, and I'm like, oh great. So this is gonna be a very one of those games. So here I decide to get some chip damage onto the Arcanine. I know he's gonna be like gonna burn me, so yeah. So here, he's right now he's in a really good solid position, and I just feel like in this slot I want to be able to capitalize on switching, because I just feel like he's gonna switch out Gastrodon and Arcanine. I kind of want to get a Toxic in or some chip on the Arcanine because so I decided to go for the Waterfall, thinking that Gastrodon's gonna switch out. So as you're about to see, this actually works out because he goes into Landorus. He goes for the Intimidate, obviously since it'll reduce my attack, and then when he goes to Mawile, that's really huge because I get a good chunk of his HP down. And I go for Waterfall, and that's a good chip damage to where HP Ice can knock it out. So here, I decide to stay in with both my mons, and he goes for the Sucker Punch, and he activates my Guaberry. Gyarados goes down, doesn't even use the Guaberry, and I am able to knock out the Landorus, which is huge. I am also able to confirm that Scarf, so for the rest of the series I know that. So here I go back to 85% Cotton, and he goes into Murkrow. So in theory, I should be able to I don't know what to do here in this situation because I thought maybe my best play is just to match his Tailwind with my own Tailwind. So here I go for Tailwind, and he goes for his own Tailwind, and he Sucker Punch and knocks out Zapdos. But this is huge because he's able to he gets paralyzed from static, and that's one of the reasons why I put static on Zapdos, because pressure doesn't really work. Well, it does work if you want to stall, but in like double battles where it's like very fast paced. Like I wanted to have some kind of like speed control option, and just static was just one of those options. Here I decided to Mega Evolve, get rid of the. My best like bet is just to get rid of the Gengar. I mean the Murkrow. Go for the Moonblast. Here I revealed the disable. Like I kind of want to disable like the Sucker Punch really. So him going to Protect. I'm not gonna lie. I should have just capitalized on this immediately and just went for the Encore onto the Mawile. That would put me in a really fantastic positioning. Like, even though he's ahead like 4 Mons, I still have Gengar, Whimsicott, and Terrakion. So those are the 3 Mons. Like, I'm still comfortable, like, with those 3. Just as like there. Mawile is just really reduced, weakened. Arcanine's kind of like there, but I still think Terrakion can still do a lot of work late game. So here I decided to go into Terrakion. And he actually gets paralyzed. I don't know if he actually goes for the Protect or the Sucker Punch because those are the only 2 moves that indicate to me that he was gonna go for that. I think he might have gone for Protect because I went for Moonblast, so I did switch it out because I feared that I would get knocked out, or he would go after my Whimsicott. So here he gets paralyzed again, unfortunately. I go for the Moonblast, get a special attack drop, which is very fortunate. I go for the Earthquake, and I do some major chip damage on the Gastrodon, and I knock out the Mawile. He goes for Earth Power. Honestly, that should have done a lot more. So, I do get a little bit lucky in that, and I don't know if paralysis mattered too much, because it seemed to me that he was protecting or trying to protect the Sucker Punch, but I wasn't really attacking it to begin with, or he wasn't really attacking to begin with, so that was just like clearly it was very upsetting, but like obviously I just have to take advantage of those things. Here I decided to go for my beat up because that way I could at least get my Terrakion back up to +2 or neutralize, and I want to get rid of Gastrodon, so this is where I reveal I have Fighting EMZ, close combat. I just pretty much knock out the Gastrodon, and yeah, that pretty much ensures the game, because unless I miss my Rock Slides, I double miss with Rock Slide, I don't think we will be able to lose. So here Protect, and I Tailwind up, so he goes for a Z move, and he goes for the Kickable Havoc, and I'm not so sure whether that would have killed, because I think maybe I would have been like a little bit more, less HP, maybe like 1%, knowing if it's me. So here I go for Rock Slide, I go for Shadow Ball, and I go for the Rock Slide, so Terrakion just gets a double kill. So yeah, that's GG. So Terrakion there just kind of like cleaned up towards the end of the game. And yeah, it was a really good Pokemon to bring for this game. It was very like kind of like I said, it was very hyper offensive in nature. Like I lost some Mons, but I was able to get back in good positioning. I think but I will admit, him not attacking with Mawile, like actually attacking, kind of like helped me out, because I noticed that he was going for like Sucker Punch and Protect instead of just going offensive. But him getting paralyzed there just kind of like hindered him, and he was going for either Sucker Punch or the Protect. Like but then again, if I'd encored them all while, I probably would have won that game a lot easier, because I don't think there's anything he could have done to like prevent me from just destroying that side with just Gengar, Whimsy. So yeah, so I'd say like that was good. Like it was a very close game either way, nonetheless. So Terrakion getting like 4 kills. So yeah, let's just move on to game 2. Alright, so in game 2, I'm pretty certain that Ports is going to try to adapt to this, and he's going to try to adapt to Terrakion, like Gengar mode as well. Just like try to deal with the Zapdos, Gyarados, and Mamoswine, because those are mons that could just pick off this team if I have if I get the right mons in, so, or if I get them into good positions. So here I decide, you know what, I might as well just make a change here and lead with Zapdos and like Quincy. I think that's pretty much what I went for. So yeah, I go with Zapdos, Quincy, and he goes for the Arcanine and the Gastrodon. So immediately going this defensive route. So here I decide to switch out Quincy and go to my Gyarados because I decided, you know what, I might as well start toxic things. And I go for Thunderbolt just to get some chip onto Arcanine. Here he goes for the Flamethrower, and yeah, and I catch him there, and I get a good switch, and I pretty much get an Intimidate onto the Arcanine in case he has like something of E-Speed. So pretty much so far so good because I got some chip damage at a cost of 10% of our Gyarados' HP. So, but oh fuck, sorry. Like I mispicked there, so yeah, I'll just let the battle play out. So we'll just play that out again. So you see like those like tail snips doesn't really do much. So here I go for Thunderbolt again. I actually get a paralysis, which is really good on my end. I go for the Thunderbolt or the Dragon Dance, and he goes for the Wisp. I went for Wisp, the Dragon Dance, because I actually wanted to be faster than Landorus in case, like, and just go for the Ice Fang. So here, I decided to go for Toxic, but honestly, I just kind of make a dead play. I should have just anticipated the switch out and just go for the HP Ice, but at this point, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get his Mawile in. I didn't really capitalize it, so I should have just attacked the Mawile. So here, I should have just immediate attack. So he goes for the Rock Slide, and yeah, that just does a lot for me. And I go for the HP Ice. It does 97%, and Zapdos gets his recovery. So like he's able to get Mawile in for free. I kind of regret not going for Thunderbolt there because I had a hunch, but I just didn't know if he would fall for it again. So here I decided to go for the Ice Fang just to, and surprisingly I had speed there. I don't know if that was like a speed tie because or something. No, I actually was better than him, so I just went for the Ice Fang just in case like he went into Gastro. Here he goes to play rough, and I go for the Thunderbolt and I get a shoot damage. So if I went for Thunderbolt earlier, I think I would have just gotten rid of this thing. So he goes to Murkrow. I go for Tailwind, expecting him to do something. He goes for Quash. He goes for the Iron Head. Reels on Focus Sash, but here I just go for the Thunderbolt just to get rid of the Mawile because I don't want to get it. I have to get it out of the way. So yeah. Here he has Gastrodon. I decide, you know what, I might as well just go for the Moonblast and the Thunderbolt just to take out that slot because if he actually switched to Arcanine, I would have been kind of fucked. So goes for Earth Power on Wincy. Pretty good play because he's gonna get a double knockout right away, but I'm gonna get 2 Pokemon in the tail end, so yeah. So here I go into Gengar and Hannibal. So then he has Arcanine on the lead. So this is one of those situations where I really wish, and I'm not gonna lie, but I really wish that Gengar kept Levitate, because if this was like Gen 4, or not Gen 4, but like, well yeah, like anything like below Gen 7, not Gen 7, I would have just stayed as dead as my regular form and just go for Earth Energy Ball, and that would have just wrecked Arcanine, and Gastrodon would have just died. But as you see, like I'm gonna have to play it safe, so I have to protect. He's gonna make a good read, and I get some chip. Arcanine gets chipped down, so he goes for the Earth Power, and he goes for the Flamethrower. And yeah, that was kind of like I didn't want to go for that Earthquake because I didn't want to lose like my mod. So here I go into Terrakion. I finally revealed Energy Ball, and I go for Rock Slide, so Rock Slide is just good, just to knock out the Arcanine. So at this point, this is like Thundurus versus Gengar or Terrakion. Here I go for the Double Protect just to scout out the Z move. I do outspeed with Gengar, so I'm guaranteed gonna get some chip damage. So this is like very like he's in a very bad spot here. So he goes for Thunderbolt, doesn't really knock me out. So then I go for Rock Slide. That's definitely GG. So yeah, that was a very close set. Even though even though it could have gone either way, so but I just had I reasoned that the best way for me to approach this game is just to go with my hyper offense. So I think there are some Pokemon I could have brought like Magmar, maybe just for redirection. But I think bringing Terrakion, I honestly didn't bring Terrakion, but I think that was a good choice to bring towards the end because it helped me out. Terrakion got 6 kills total in these 2 games, so it's surprising that Terrakion just doing well this late in the season and just picking up the slack of the team. So yeah, despite me not playing very well. I won't discredit Ford at all. He played very well in both games. I think what it came down to was just how he just I think my modes were just good enough to I just positioned myself to where Terrakion, Gengar was able to outspeed everything else. I got rid of Murkrow, I got rid of Mawile, I got rid of Landorus, because obviously that's the Landorus right there. It's a simple EQ. He killed me both, so unless I have a Gyarados and Zapdos, that's why I brought those 2. Because I brought Gyarados, Zapdos because that pretty much ensures that, hey, if your choice locked, you have to lock yourself into Rock Slide, or you're gonna have to lock yourself into EQ, which will push you in a very bad position. So, well, pretty much, and I have Mamoswine in the back, so yeah. So very good game from both sides. So I think next week we battle. Next round we battle. Who's it? I believe it's Chase. So I think he's 4-1. He's the only. He's in my division or so. I think at this point we're I think we're at 8-1. The only loss we had was against Ports, and yeah, but we won all our sets, so that's really good. So I think in terms of buys and whatnot, I think we got the buy spot. So provided we don't tank against anyone else, and if we win with a good margin, then yeah. So hopefully, next week's battle is really good. So it's should be a good one because me and Chase both battled in the draft finals before in CIL, so it's gonna be a very interesting set. So hopefully, guys. So hopefully, you guys see.